Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are excited. We are excited this morning as we dive into our financial literacy edition of voice activation. Good morning. I pray that everyone is starting with a blessed day. Thus far, it has already been a blessed day for me, and I am excited about this teaching because God began to show me some things as I was just preparing to get started with the day. And I said, "Oh Lord, this is so good." I had to take a note in my phone outside of the notes on my paper. So you know when the Lord is trying to say something and inject something when you have to start taking notes in other places. So the voice activation is a daily live teaching experience designed to help purpose driven believers align with God's vision, build the structure to sustain it, develop the character to carry it, and gain the confidence to speak it, execute it with obedience and excellence. Welcome to the Voice Activation Financial Literacy Edition. This is for literally everyday people who want clarity, want control, and confidence with their money God's way. So we put emphasis on literally God's way. We're not doing it our own way. Anytime you start doing things your own way, you already have a loss. Okay. So we want control, we want clarity and confidence in money God's way. This series will give you financial clarity, it will give you structure, it will give you discipline, and it will give you confidence to take action in your finances. And so many of you all, like me at one point, we won't take action in our finances. We are very distracted when it relates to our finances. We're worried about, you know, looking at it because it can become overwhelming, right? And so we're keeping this very simple, we're keeping this very light. The purpose here is to bring awareness to our finances and develop simple action steps. So whether you're someone who has $5 or $500, the principles are important. It's important to gain financial literacy before you make the big money, because when you make the big money, if you haven't developed discipline, if you haven't developed structure, if you haven't developed systems, you'll find yourself back in square one, right? So now you're just making more money and losing more money. You're just making more money and spending more money. But we want to not just make more money, we want to actually sustain the more that God gives us. And so God is wanting to release more, but he wants to release it to those that have self-control, right? So when we say control, control is not a bad word. God has given us dominion so we can have control, right? Self-control, clarity, and confidence. If you have self control, clarity, and confidence, God can give you more. He can increase the work of your hand. He can bless you with greater because He's looking for the stewardship in the small things. If you will steward well what He gives you now, then you can steward well and be trusted with more. And so we are entering into our day two of voice activation financial literacy edition. Voice is the acronym for vision, organization, integrity, communication, communication, and execution. So we are applying vision, organization, integrity, communication, and execution literally to our finances. And so, how are we going to do that? Day two, we're focusing on organization. We're coming from a place of financial chaos to a clear plan. How many of you all need a clear plan? Let's drop that in the comments. Clear plan. I need a clear plan. I don't just want to have money, or I don't even want to just have information. I want to have clear plan, because if I have a clear plan, then I know what I need to do. And if I know what I need to do, then I know that I can get, if I know what I need to do, then I know I can get some things accomplished. I can get some things done. So we need a clear plan. Clear planning is what's going to help to put us ahead of the game. Clear planning is what's going to help to put us ahead of what we are experiencing in our finances, right? So clear planning. So here we go. Organization turns intention into direction. So you may have financial intentions, right? In your mind, there are some things that you want to do. There's some intentions you set. Maybe you want to build a savings account. Maybe you wish that you could pay your bills on auto pay. Maybe you have this thought that you would love to invest or you would love to build a business. You have to turn this intention into organization so you can have direction to actually get there. And so this actually brings me to that point that I told you all before we went live. I was jotting this down in my phone. The point that I had this morning was investing is not the first step of financial literacy, because a lot of people's intention, listen, their intention is, I want to do better by my finances. I want to make more money. I want to get to a place where I'm earning more, thinking that earning more is the solution. And with thinking that earning more is the solution, you start thinking about investing. You start thinking about building businesses. You start thinking about those type of things. But investing is not the first step in financial literacy or financial abundance. It's a buzzword that we hear a lot right now because a lot of people are learning about investing, and investing is good, but it's not the first step. It's a buzzword, but it's not the stewardship that allows you to. It's not the stewardship that allows you to invest. So listen to this: investing is not the first step of financial literacy or financial abundance. It is a buzzword that is going around, and a lot of people are setting their intention on investing so they can make more money. But you must first deal with stewardship that will allow you to invest. You never get to the point of investing because the first step is really taking a look at your finances and figuring out, what can I invest? You don't know what you can invest because your focus is on bill paying. Your focus is on, trying to keep the lights on. And so if you do go ahead and invest, you are taking a huge risk because you have things that you need to pay. You have expenses that you should be focused on, right? So moving from having this thought that I have the intention to invest to literally taking the first step of financial literacy, which is adjusting where you are right now, realizing where you are right now, taking accountability where you are right now, organizing where you are right now, and figuring out where you can start investing to move forward in that place. So before we get to investing, we want to organize what we have now. Can we drop that in the chat? I want to organize, right? What I have now, what is in my hand now, I want to organize that. And so, how do we begin to look at this? God blesses stewardship. So, when you organize what you have now, God can then give you next steps. He can give you next understanding. He can give you knowledge and wisdom. He can give you strategy on investment. Okay. And so, when we think of stewardship, I wanted to break down this word stewardship as well, because listen, stewardship is how you think about, organize, implement, and repeat. Stewardship is how you think about money, it's how you organize money, it's how you implement the plan that you created for your money, and then you repeat it. Stewardship is also about pivoting, right? So you are going to pivot a lot when it comes to stewardship. You're going to make edits, and you're going to even find yourself conquering new fears, find yourself conquering new doubts, find yourself conquering new, addressing bad habits, right? That you didn't even know were there, but the Holy Spirit began to reveal it to you. So when we think about stewardship, I don't want you to think that stewardship is a one time a process or a one size fit all or a plan that you implement one time and you just throw in the towel. It's always taking inventory and adjusting, right? So stewardship is not, you don't have it all right when it comes to stewardship right away. And maybe the stewardship of this season and the stewardship of next season looks different. And so you always have to go through the ebbs and flows of life and the challenges and the nuances that expose themselves through your growth, through your family dynamic. You add a baby, the stewardship looks different. You add you you know you you take away an income, the stewardship looks different. You add an income, the stewardship looks different. So you have to always be in this place of organizing, adjusting, and stewarding. And that stewardship says What do I think about money? Maybe I need to learn something new about money. How am I organizing money? Is the plan that I had in place, does that plan still work? Or do I need to make adjustments with it? And then whatever I'm doing, I have to be consistent and faithful in implementing, and I have to repeat this process often. This is a necessary part because I believe that a lot of people, they organize their finances one time, and then when something changes, you don't reorganize your financing. And so you think that you're doing something wrong, but it's just that life changed, a circumstance changed. You added something, you went and signed up for a new subscription, and you haven't taken the time to organize again. I would suggest that quarterly you take a look and reorganize your finances. Quarterly, you should be looking at your finances because there are things that you're doing differently this quarter than you will do next quarter. Maybe you're going to add money. Maybe you're going to subtract money. Maybe you have a new baby on the way. Maybe you were in a marriage, but you ain't in a marriage now, and so the finances look different. Or maybe you are a single woman now, but you're in a marriage moving forward, and there are some adjustments that you're making because now you become one. And so my expenses are your expenses, and my money is your money. It's just a different nuance, right? And if you don't prepare for that, you become unorganized in finances again, right? And so I see a couple of comments that said, yes, I want to organize what I have now. I don't need to wait for me to get more to then say I want to organize. No, I want to organize my money right here, right now. So organization is needed. Organization is needed when it comes to finances. This is your financial roadmap. So that is where we're entering. We're entering into the financial roadmap. I don't even plan on being before you long because I want to keep this simple, short, and sweet because we have work to do. I don't want to just give you information and feed you a new way of thinking about finances. I want you to begin to implement these things. And so organization is the roadmap that we're using in voice activation financial addition, right? It is taking the vision that you wrote concerning your finances on yesterday. If you did not start with day one, start with day one because you want to be able to have a financial vision. You want to have purpose behind your money. So the vision you wrote for your finance needs organization in order to implement it. So, whatever you wrote concerning your finances, whatever you wrote concerning your financial vision, you now need to organize it. And I'm going to walk you through those steps, right? So, you can't just cast a vision with no action, right? Faith without works is dead. You can't cast a vision without action. So we are casting the vision. This is, Lord, these are the things that we want to see when we're in regards to our finances. These are the vision. This is the purpose we want to give to money. And so here I'm going to take this action so that this purpose becomes my reality. So that this purpose becomes the reality of my finances. So here are key questions to organize your finances. Here are key questions. Key questions, very simple key questions. This process is going to be so simple, but it's a necessary step. Just like I said, financial literacy, it does not start with investing. Financial literacy does not start with investing, nor does building financial abundance start with investing. It starts with stewardship. It starts with you implementing a system and a strategy with what you have now. And then based on what you have now left over at the end after you pay your bills and you pay your debt, then you can put that to work for you. But if you don't know what that number is, you never actually implement the intention of investing or growing money or building business or taking your money and creating something with longevity for your family. So question number one, drop a number one in the comments. This is the first question you want to ask yourself. Very simple and to the point. The first question that you want to ask yourself, what comes in? What comes in? We'll be surprised that there's more money touching our hand and our bank account than we actually really believe, right? Believe, because money goes out so fast that we don't realize how much money we're actually touching, how much money is actually coming in. I've had people not actually realize the dollar amount, their dollar amount that's coming in. They don't realize it. They didn't even realize that they were making this amount of money because money is going out so fast that they're not realizing what their real starting point is. You're not really not realizing what your real starting point is because here, let me tell you two reasons why you're not realizing what is really coming in. Because some stuff have already gone out before your paycheck even hit. So you in the negatives. And so when your paycheck hit, the negative items or the items that was already scheduled to process before your paycheck hit, that already then hit your money, right? Or your bank account is already set up on some things, right? And the day that your payments come through, automatically bills are going out. So you have no idea what really is coming in. So ask yourself what is coming in. Number two, drop a number two in the comments. Number two is the same thing I was just talking about. What's going out? What is legitimately going out? Not what's off the top of your brain, not what's off the top of your head. Go and get your last bank statement and figure out what is coming out of your check. Don't do it off the top of your head because I can tell you with most certainty there are a lot of things that are coming out of your bank account. They just going out. They're going out. You don't even need them anymore. You don't even realize that they come out. You forgot because it's been 2 years since you signed up for that thing and you don't even need it anymore. And we all do this. So, this is why it's important to know what's coming in and to know what's coming out. Know what's coming in and what's coming out. Okay. And now, the third thing is to number three, put a number three in the comments. What's left? What's left? What do I have left? So, after I know what's coming in and I know what's going out, what do I actually have left? At the end of the month, what's left? What's left? How much money is still in the account at the end of the month? And so once you know what's coming in, and you know what's coming in, you know what's going out, and you know what's left, here's the next point that I want you to understand. And this ties into points one, two, and three. It's not more money that you need a literal system. The system has to be a simple budget. Listen, a simple budget. Do you see that was a simple budget? That's simple budgeting. That is very basic, simple budgeting. It's not to restrict you. It is a permission to give money purpose. A budget is not restrictive. It is a permission to give money purpose. Take this in, take this note. This is a powerful note. Money needs a budget, and a budget is not restrictive. It is permission to give money purpose. Meaning, once I know what's coming in, once I know what's going out, and once I know what is left can now be given to purpose. It can be given to business, it can be given to ministry, it can be given to debt, it can be given to whatever it is that I have purpose and intention to set it for. But if I don't know what is coming in, I don't know what's going out, and I have no clue what's left over, then money has no purpose and it slips through my fingers. So the budget is not restrictive. It is permission for me to do some extra things. Maybe it's not even that you want to build business. Maybe it's not even that you want to build ministry. You want to pour into yourself at the end of the month. Well, guess what? There's some things going out that could have poured into you. There's some things that are going out that is just wasted money and income. It could have went to your hair. Because guess what? When your hair is done, you feel good about yourself. It could have went to you going to get your nails done because you've been feeling in a rut. It could have went to you going to a spa day because you need to relax. It could have went to so many different things. Maybe you want to honor your mother and your father. And one of the ways you could have done that is if you knew what was left, you could have said, you know what? I want to give this. I want to say thank you to my mother, to my father. I want to bless them. So budgeting is not restrictive. It is a permission. It is a permission to give purpose to what's left. Give purpose to your money. So we have to understand God has called us to have dominion, to rule over, and to steward money. This is our permission. Yeah, put that in the comments. I have permission to give my money purpose. I have permission to give my money purpose. So listen, I have worksheets that I've created, and those worksheets literally will help you to organize this, right? To be able to take those steps 1 through 3 and organize, right? So, in the day 2 of my worksheet, you will create a money snapshot, okay? So, a money snapshot is where we take a look at the roadmap, the money map, right? So, the money map and the money snapshot, I ask you a question, right? I ask you a specific question in this worksheet. And so the question that I ask in this worksheet, right? The question that I ask in this worksheet is what surprised you most when you actually took a look at your finances? When you actually took a look into your finances, what surprised you most? Right? You looked into it not abstractly, but you looked at it line by line. Lord, accessing every transaction and assessing every transaction. What shocked you the most? What you will find is that you realize how much money you really had, right? I see you, Lee Vet. I see you over on Instagram. I see you, Tamika, on Instagram. I have permission to give my money purpose. And when you take a look at this, you start realizing, like, hold up, I had more money than I think I had. Right? I have more money. I have more coming in than I think I have. I just have so much going out, so much unnecessary spending. That was my aha moment when I looked at my finances. I said, there's so much unnecessary spending here. I'm going to the store buying 2 sodas and for $4 when it's $6 for me to get 6 of them. It was $6 for me to get 6 of them. And you may find something like that, like you would be able to better manage your money if you went to Sam's than if you went to the 7-Eleven. Those are real assessments of your spending. Okay. So far, Proverbs 21:5, it talks about the plans of the diligent. The diligent, their plans are blessed. God blesses those who are diligent in what they are doing. So here, I want you to comment activation because we're taking voice activation and we are literally applying it to finances. And here are the action steps that you're going to take. These actions you're going to take now. You're not going to wait to take this action, right? That's why I want you to drop activation in the comments. You're not going to wait to take this action. These are actions that you can take right away. And so we are literally going to take what I shared with you all, key questions to organize your finances and to begin to set a clear budget, a simple budget, which is what is coming in, what's going out, and what's left over. Once you have answered those questions, you're going to formulate them here. So the action steps or the money map that I created in the worksheets, that is going to help you to organize all of this. Whether you do get the worksheets or not, you can literally take what I'm sharing right now and you can put it to use. So you have the word activation in there. We're activating our finances through taking a look at them and being accountable, holding ourselves accountable, taking responsibility. So here are the action steps. The very first thing that I want you to understand about a money map, we're going to create a 30-minute money map. We're not going to take, it doesn't take long, right? Because sometimes you can feel overwhelmed by thinking that it's going to take you long. You don't even want to see the numbers. You're worried about the fact that you're going to see that you're in the negatives when you really look at everything. But it's okay. You're going to make adjustments, you're going to make pivots, you're going to change. This is how you're going to be able to steward money well, make it grow, increase it, for it to be blessed, for it to overflow. This is how you're going to accomplish this. So you're going to create a money map. The first thing that you're going to do in the money map is you're going to list all of your income. All of your income. I don't care if you get $10. I don't care if you got a $10 check. You know how those little checks that come in the mail sometimes from places. I don't care if it's a $10 check. It goes on the list of income. I don't care if you babysit and you get $100 a week from babysitting. I don't care what the income is. It goes on the list. You need to have a clear snapshot of what the income is. Number two, list all expenses. I don't care if it's $1.99 that you pay to Apple every month for you to be able to use an app on your phone or to increase your iCloud storage. Listen, if 199 is going to apple.com every single month, then it needs to go on the expenses, right? Once you have all your income listed, once you have all your expenses listed, I want you to separate into three categories. Somebody drop a three in the chat. There are three categories. Once you know what is coming in, once you know what is going out, this is where it gets good. This is where the money map gets good. This is where the snapshot gets good. Three categories that you want to separate your money in. You want to separate your money by needs, wants, and waste. Drop that in the comments. I know I had y'all drop the number three in the comments, but you need to have this as a note. Take note of this. Once you know what is coming in, you know what is going out, you know what is left. What you want to do is you want to separate these things into three categories, which are needs, wants, and waste. Heavy on the waste. Needs, wants, and waste. Heavy on the waste. Listen, there's no judgment here. There is no judgment here. We just gonna be truthful and honest with ourselves. We have so much waste. Oh my goodness. We have so much waste. Needs, wants, and waste. We have so much waste because there are things that we just do just and we don't even think about. I went to the Dollar Tree the other day, right? And I said to myself when I went to Dollar Tree, when I yesterday I sat there and I said to myself, I didn't need all that stuff from Dollar Tree. I'm working on my health. I didn't eat all them snacks. I didn't eat all that extra stuff. So not only am I working against my health, I'm working against my finances because that's wasted money. Because I don't need to eat those snacks. So I'm wasting money and I'm also doing something that I didn't even need to do for my physical health. And so you have to understand the value of stewardship. And that's going to bring me into another point. I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but I had this epiphany yesterday, this revelation yesterday that was so good about even our health as it relates to our finances. So listen to this. Here's where you start seeing money for real. Here is where you start seeing money for real. Here's where you start seeing yourself as it relates to money. Because this is going to reveal some things. This is where you start to have some hard come to Jesus moments with yourself about money, because literally when you start seeing your money, that this is how much money you really have coming in, and then you start seeing where you've been allocating your money, you're like, what is going on with me? Why do I spend money like this? Then you start having this come to Jesus moment, like, Lord, I think I need some deliverance. My spending habits is telling me something about myself. And then when you have this thing that says to you, hey, it's something here. Some people eat a lot of ice cream when they're going through a lot of feelings and emotions. Some people go spend money when they're having a lot of feelings and emotions. So you will see something about yourself in this. Don't be afraid to take a look and see what your money says about you, and allow the Lord to heal and deliver and set you free and renew your mind in this process. God is always bringing these things as a loving father so that he can renew your mind, so he can build you up, so that he can increase you. And guess what? Sometimes we just want God to increase us, but what he wants to do is bring attention to what we are doing, the habits that we have that are depleting us, that are depleting our finances. And so we're asking God, give me, give me, give me more, make a way, open a door. He's saying, listen, I am giving you stewardship. I am giving you guidance. I'm giving you wisdom and knowledge to attack the very thing that has been plaguing you and stressing you. You don't got to stress no more. I'm showing you very simple steps that will put your money in an organized fashion so that you can take some steps in eliminating waste. And that is my next point. You automatically know your waste has to be removed. Anything that you list under waste, remove it. Remove it. Don't negotiate. Don't tell yourself, oh, well, Every now and then, no, no, no. If you put it in the waste pile, go ahead and throw it out, because there's nothing that you throw in the trash at your house that you don't throw out at the end of the week, right? You throw it out on whatever day trash day is, because it is waste, and you know that waste smells, and waste it rots, and waste it has maggots and all that. So anything that is waste, we automatically know that that has to be eliminated. And if we eliminate the waste, we already start seeing money that we can put purpose to. We're already seeing money that we can put purpose to. The next thing you have to look at, what needs to be removed, what needs to be canceled, what needs to be stopped, what needs to be repurposed. Assign vision to that waste. Okay, so whatever was wasted, we're removing, we're canceling, we're stopping it, we're repurposing, and we are assigning a vision to it. Now here is where it goes a little deeper, because now you're going to move to your want section. Assess your wants, right? Assess your wants. Can I go without this for a season? Can I go without this for a season so that I can attach a greater purpose to it, to that money? So can I go without it for a season to aggressively attack debt? Can I go without it for a season to get a savings going so I can have an emergency fund? Or can I use it to start paying bills on time and in full? Can we hit that nail on the head? If I look at my wants and I realize that my wants, I don't have to have these things. These things, I can do a sacrifice. I can make a sacrifice so I can get savings. But I can also do a sacrifice so that I don't got to rob Peter to pay Paul, that I can pay my bills on time and in full. That is a practice that you need to have. If you remove your waste and you remove your wants and you just focus on your needs for a moment, you will be able to get to the point where your bills are paid on time and in full, that you're getting a savings account going and you're attacking your debt. Those are the three things that give the most stress. Am I right? What are the things that bring you the most stress? The things that bring you the most stress: debt, right? Paying bills on time and in full, and being able to have an emergency fund, some savings. So if you take the steps of addressing, completely eliminating your waste, and assessing your wants by saying, do I really need this? Then you can attack the three things that are the most stress on you: your debt, having an emergency fund, and paying your bills on time and in full. Has this blessed you? Very simple. Very simple strategy. This is the financial literacy. This is the first step to financial literacy. This is the first thing. This is the first thing. It's not investing. It's not getting life insurance. It's not, this is the first step. It's not trying to get living benefits where you can borrow against your life insurance. It's not that. It's taking the first step of proper stewardship. And if you take this first step of proper stewardship, getting that snapshot of your money, getting that money map down, if you do this, you will be able to get ahead this year. You will be able to get ahead this year and begin to multiply by you. If you do this for 6 months, think about it. If for 6 months you eliminate your waste and your wants and you focus on giving that money purpose, after by 6 months you'll be able to have something to invest. You'll have by, and you do this for the first 6 months of the year, and then the last 6 months of the year you can start investing, or the last 4 months of the year you can start investing, or the last 3 months of the year you can start investing, because now you're above water. You've trained yourself to pay your bills on time. You've trained yourself to literally look at every dime, look at every dollar. You've trained yourself in this simple math. This is simple math. This is not trigonometry. It is simple math. What is coming in, what is going out, and what is left over. That's what you need to know. That you need to be aware of this, and keenly aware of this, and you need to constantly, every maybe 3 to 4 months, go in and look at it and do your snapshot again and make adjustments and pivots as needed. Okay, so I was having this thought. Listen to this. I was having this thought on yesterday, and I began to say it to my sister on the phone. I said, there are many of us who struggle in our health. This is what I'm talking about: giving your money purpose. when you struggle in your health and you know you need supplements, right? So here's me, here I am. I need to get me my vitamin D, my iron, my collagen. What was the other one? Vitamin D, collagen, my iron, and magnesium, right? So I'm having this conversation with myself. Listen, your health, you need to get back on your supplements. Your supplements are needed. Your supplements, they cost, they have a cost to them, right? And so when I started thinking about it, I said, wow, this is why it's so important to look at your finances and give your finances purpose, purpose that is beyond just buying the things that you want and just going out and having fun, because there's some of us who's not getting good sleep, right? Our iron is low, we're cold all day, we're shivering, that we know that we need vitamin D. We went to the doctor and the doctor told us that we need to be taking vitamin D. We need magnesium so we can get some sleep. Our iron is low and our anemia is wreaking havoc on our energy levels, and we find ourselves in a place where we know we need this collagen, we need this for our joints, so our joints are not clicking and clocking and pop locking all day, right? And we know we need this for our body, and but because we don't know where our money is going and we're letting money go to other things, we could have been given this money purpose by setting aside the money that we need and having the proper stewardship so that we could take care of our health better. This is the necessity. This is why all of this is attached to one another. The Bible says that the Lord would have it that we would be in good health and prosper even as our soul prospers. All of those things are important. If your money ain't right, it's kind of hard for you to be in good health. If you're not in good health, it's kind of hard for you to sustain money. If you are not spiritually prospering, it doesn't flow well. You need all three. You need to be in good health and prosper even as your soul prospers. This is the will of God for us in Christ Jesus. And if we do not start looking at things from this type of perspective, one of the reasons that I'm stewarding better over my money and assessing my waste and my wants is because I know that I need to allocate X amount of money to making sure my supplements can be purchased on auto pay. See what I'm saying? That is a purpose for me. I just put a purpose to money. A purpose to money for me is to be able to make sure that I can buy my daily supplements that I need, which are vitamin D, iron, collagen, and magnesium. A lot of Black women need these. All of that I just now said, we are heavily depleted in these areas, a lot of us. And so, knowing that, I put purpose that says, I know how much each of these costs. And so, if I eliminate this waste, I can put these supplements on auto pay. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys that I'm in assessing and making this small screen snapshot, this small 30-minute money map will help you to then say, well, I've been thinking about my health and my health is important to me and I need these supplements. And I just located $300 of waste. I am able to afford to put these on auto pay. I don't have to actually go in there every month and place this, right? I don't actually have to go in there every month and place this. I need to go put it on a subscribe and save on auto pay in the Amazon, so that comes to my house and I don't have to think about it. And then I won't spend that money on anything else because I've already allocated that money. That money already has purpose. So then I know that that is going out. This is a need for us to do. And so I pray that this blessed you. If you're on here and this was coming to my heart even as I was speaking, if you're on here and money has been a frustration, money has been a stress, money has been a hardship on you, I want to say two things to you. First of all, God brings this message to you so that you can take this money map, this snapshot, these simple principles and apply them to your money and receive some relief today. Right? You want to take action on this today. You want to do that. You want to create that 30-minute money map of listing all your income, listing all your expenses, and separating them into three categories: your needs, your wants, and your waste. And being completely honest with yourself that, of course, the waste list goes off, but what can I sacrifice in the want list so that I can make sure that my money has purpose and some of the things I really need, I can begin to buy, right? Then there's some of you all that you need to get down to the root, the reveal of why you are experiencing money issues. Because sometimes it's heavily rooted in deliverance, and you need some insight and wisdom about yourself. Because even just the thought of taking 30 minutes to write that money map is already making you feel very uncomfortable. So, what I'm going to do, if there's any of you all that want to be coached through your money process, listen, I am not a financial advisor, but I have a lot of wisdom and I've done a lot, right? I've done a lot. I've paid off debt recently. Even recently, my credit cards are zero. All of my credit cards, zero. Zero, zero, zero across the board. If you are someone who wants to sit down and literally walk through this, not just on paper what the numbers are, but the mindset around it, come up with a strategy to start paying off your debt, start figuring out what you can do to set up your emergency fund and create a specific strategy. Because, of course, like I said, of course I understand that you can do this on your own, but sometimes it's hard to stay focused and committed to this. If you would like to do a 60-minute call with me, to be able to go ahead and address these things, what I would have you do is I would have you do the money map, what I just shared with you, do that, and then we'll hop on a call and we can address what are the wastes. We'll deal with your wants. Is there anything that we can do to make a sacrifice? And then we'll start focusing on what is your debt, how you can aggressively pay off your debt, and then we'll focus on building up your savings so that you can start paying bills and paying them in full and on time. If you want to do that, I'm going to offer specifically for this. I do have a one-on-one in the link in my bio. That is $197, right? But I am going to do a one-on-one 60 minutes specifically for finances and getting your financial vision and getting your this snapshot and this money map. I'm going to do that for you guys for $100. But in order to get that savings, that $97 difference, right? What you're going to need to do is send me a DM that says the word money. Send me a DM that says the word money, and then I will set you up. And we can set this call up anywhere this week or next week. We can set this call up very soon, and we can get this worked on because I believe that this is an essential process, right? You will also see the money map go up today. So today, the worksheets from each section, but we've already covered vision and we've covered organization today, but the worksheets will be for vision, organization, integrity when it comes to finances, communication when it comes to finances, and execution when it comes to finances. And I will be live every day this week going over each of these days, right? Each of these topics as it relates to money. I not only do I want you to share this live out with a friend or family member, I want you to return. Be back here at 7 a.m. on tomorrow, Central Standard Time. 5 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, or if you're on the East Coast, join me at 8 a.m. And we're going to continue this conversation as it relates to money because I know this is powerful and I know this is needed. And I know that God instructed this week to be about finances because we need to get some financial principles instilled in systems, simple systems that will help us to prosper for the rest of the year. I pray that this bless you. If this blessed you, drop some emojis in the comments before we go. Before I hit the end button, drop some emojis in the comments. I pray that this has been a blessing. I pray that you are overflowing with joy about just like, hey, I think I can do this. I think I can take some steps. I think I can get some leadway in my finances. I don't have to be fearful of my finances. I don't have to worry about my finances. I have control, right? I have confidence. I have control. I have the ability to literally take some action in my finances and get some things done. Thank you for the emojis. I appreciate you guys showing up. And I will see you all tomorrow at 7 a.m. Bless you, everybody. Bless you, bless you, bless you. I will see you all on tomorrow. I'm moving so fast. I didn't even get the comment up there all the way.